Hi there everybody, this is David, and I have a pretty neat game for you. Today I want to showcase it all for y'all and tell you all about it. It is today's sponsor, and it's called Sword of Convallaria, and whenever it does fully launch on July 31st, it's going to be available to play on iOS, Google, Steam, and even directly from the website. This is a fantasy tactical RPG, and I had the opportunity to join the closed beta that they're currently conducting, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. And I do think that is worth a sub, as I do try my best to hit my dream goal and reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. And I would love it if you could help me out by subbing and also liking this video. It does help me out a ton. And if you'd like to check out Sword of Convallaria for yourself at any time during this video, you can just scan the QR code in the corner or click the link below in order to pre-register for the launch on July 31st. Before I even get started, I do want to let you know that everything that I say here is 100% my opinion. Every single contract that I do sign states that I'm allowed to express my opinion freely. And yes, this is a free-to-play gacha game. However, I personally received no bonuses whatsoever from the developer because I wanted my experience to mirror what a normal playthrough should look like. And I'm happy to say that I had no problems at all going through the story without having to spend one single solitary dime. So, with that out of the way, let me go ahead and get started. There are a couple of things that I noticed right off the bat, and that of course are the graphics and the music. The graphical style is really reminiscent of the absolutely gorgeous watercolor style that was used in Saga Frontier 2. But that's just like the backgrounds. The characters themselves are lovingly crafted from the ground up with pixel art, and then placed on like an isometric 2.5D type battlefield. I mean, think of something like Final Fantasy Tactics, but more upscaled in that HD 2D style, kind of like Triangle Strategy. This is just next level. Not to mention all the animated cutscenes, you can tell that a lot of love and care went into this. This isn't just some sort of like run-of-the-mill game. Everything about it just oozes quality. Also, the game is fully voiced, though only in Japanese. And speaking of some classics, let's talk about the ethereal music composed by none other than Hitoshi Sakimoto, who's best known for his work in the aforementioned Final Fantasy Tactics, Tactics Ogre, and even Final Fantasy XII. I mean, if that's not some RPG pedigree, I don't know what is. Now, y'all know me. I love a good old-school turn-based retro RPG. In fact, Final Fantasy Tactics is still, to this day, my absolute favorite strategy RPG. But this game here actually takes 3 different RPGs that I love and kind of like weaves them into one masterpiece together. There's the gameplay of Final Fantasy Tactics combined with the weapon triangle system of Fire Emblem, and then that like turn back time and change the past mechanic of Radiant Historia, and it's all rolled into one. The game promises over 120 hours of single player goodness, and your adventure takes place in the country of Iria, which is rich in magical Luxite, and that's unfortunately drawn some unwanted attention from the surrounding countries. So, as tensions are rising and riots break out on the streets, it's up to you, as the leader of the mercenary squad, to navigate all these complex political situations while also trying to find a way to save your homeland, as well as discover the mysteries of your own past. And whenever I say it's complex, I really mean it, because here your choices actually matter, just in the same way that they always do in those Tactics Ogre games. As the mercenary leader, it is your job to choose which faction is best for you to work with. Do you want to ally yourself with the Union of the United States? Or maybe form an alliance with King and Country and stick with the Kingdom of Iria Armed Forces? Or maybe you want to go like the religious route and ally yourself with the Papal States. It's all completely up to you, and depending on which choices that you make and who you ally yourselves with at the time, the plot, storyline, and battles will constantly be changing. So no 2 playthroughs will ever be alike, and you'll be going on your very own unique journey. Now, let's talk about the battle system. As I said before, this is strategic turn-based battles with the same layout as chess or even the round Fire Emblem. It utilizes that weapon triangle of axe beats shield, shield beats spear, and spear beats bow, with magic having its own unique little triangle system as well. Turn order takes agility into account, so you're going to want to utilize your speedy characters like your archers and your rogues to get some strategic locations first. Then, your slower characters might take a little bit more time to get to where they need to go. But don't just think that everybody's just one note here, as each character can equip all sorts of different weapons and armor, and even combine their skills at any time. So even if you have 2 different spear users, they might be able to perform vastly different functions depending on how they're set up, as well as their positioning. Keep this in mind though, this isn't some sort of like auto-battling AFK kind of game. You actually need to pay attention. This is just as strategic, if not more, than any mainline Fire Emblem or tactical game that you can buy on the consoles. Nothing is AFK about this. You're going to be moving each character around, telling each character to attack, picking which skills to use. Everything is up to you. This is not AI involved at all. This is just like Final Fantasy Tactics. Not only that, but the environments aren't just window dressing either. If you see some wooden crates or gunpowder barrels lying around, they're not just there just to look pretty. They are there to help you turn the tide of the battlefield. You can climb on top of the wooden crates to reach higher elevations so your archers can pick off foes from afar, while the gunpowder barrels can explode right in your enemies' faces. But don't get too close to it yourself, because you don't want to get caught in that blast either. Hit that thing with some magic or kick it into your enemies' faces, either way works. Or if you want to, you can always just roll a boulder down a hill and crush all the enemies beneath you. The possibilities are quite endless. So don't think that these battlefields are just like some boring flat grid. They're not. They are lovingly crafted and created, ensuring that you can overcome even the strongest opponents just by using your little brain. Or just by knocking them sheer off the cliff. Whatever works for you. The game promises that the story mode can be completed with just the characters provided naturally. And if you want to get the upper hand, you can recruit and train a ton of unique companions over at the tavern, and then teach them some amazing skills, craft their equipment over at the forge, train them up, and then send them out into battle. But do keep in mind, you will be getting new characters just by completing the storyline. They will join up with you, just like they would in any normal console RPG. And if you need to recruit more from the tavern, you can, but not by spending your own hard-earned money. You spend in-game gold. Like I said before, I played through the storyline and I didn't have to spend any of my own money to do so. This is extraordinarily user-friendly and free-to-play friendly. But just keep in mind that sometimes a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do in order to save their home country. And that means going back in time to do so. You can travel into Elysium and utilize the Wheel of Fortune to visit broken dimensions and then rewrite the past. Maybe even saving a couple of lives or saving your own kingdom in the process. I feel like this system really elevates it above a normal strategy RPG into something special, because it utilizes that Radiant Historia time traveling system that I just adore. Sword of Convallaria really did take me by surprise. Normally, before I go into a gacha game, I go in with some pretty low expectations, but this proved me wrong. It was definitely a pleasant surprise. It takes everything that I love about the classic golden age of RPGs and weaves them together into one compelling narrative that I just couldn't put down. So if you like what you see here and you want to try it out for yourself, please be sure to click the links below or just scan the QR code in the corner so that you can be pre-registered for the launch on July 31st as well. I guarantee that you will not regret it. This really is a boatload of fun. And if you do like this video, here's another video that I think that you'll really enjoy, going over some great strategy RPGs. So please be sure to check that one out, and as always, have a good day.